Assalamu alaikum. Today we're carrying on with corresponding angles. Yesterday we did co-interior angles. So you remember if you see two parallel lines, right? So in this picture here, I've got AB that is parallel to CD, right? So if I have two parallel lines, without writing it there, can you spot the co-interior angles? Okay, so let me just point it out to you. If I'm drawing from the parallel line down the transversal and down the parallel line, I'm making a U. So these two angles inside here would be co-interior, which means they would be adding up to 180 degrees. And also on the other side, if I have a U there, from the parallel line onto the transversal and the parallel line, those two angles that I haven't written today will also be adding up to 180 degrees. Those are co-interior angles. Okay, today we're moving on to corresponding angles. And corresponding angles also, first of all, we're looking for parallel lines. So in my diagram here, I've been given that AB is parallel to CD, right? Then I've been given an angle X here and an angle Y, okay? And when you have parallel lines, there's a rule that corresponding angles make a F shape and those corresponding angles are equal. Okay, so now we're not saying they're equals to 180 degrees, we're saying they are equal. So what we mean is when we're looking for an F shape, can you see where my parallel line is, right? I'm drawing through my transversal here. Okay, there's my parallel line and there's my parallel line there. Okay, can you see how I've drawn an F shape? So what happens is the angles that are here inside this F, can you see I've drawn an F here? Here's the F, right? The angles inside the F now, here's one angle and here's one angle. Those angles are equal, okay? So if I'm saying X is equals to Y, right? So if I have to write it in a geometry statement, I'm going to say X is equals to Y. That's going to be my statement. And my reason is going to be corresponding angles. And I have to say AB is parallel to CD. Okay, so what do we have in today's work? We have two parallel lines again. We're looking for a transversal, right? And then we have a F shape. And the F shape is showing us that X is equals to Y, which means these two angles are called corresponding angles. The angles that are in that F shape, okay? There's another F shape there that I want to draw for you. Okay, so you have two sets of corresponding angles. So can you see I'm drawing another F in pink? Okay, there's another F. Can you see the parallel line, the transversal and the parallel line? And now I'm naming the angles A and B. Can you see there's another set of corresponding angles there? A is equals to B. That's another set of corresponding angles, just like we have alternate angles, right? Okay, so if I have to write, can you see the corresponding angles here? Here's the parallel lines. So if I have to write D and E there, okay, and they give you a diagram like this all together, can you see that you can find co-interior angles and you can find corresponding angles? Okay, so can you see the U? So X plus E will be how much? 180 degrees. Can you see the U there? A plus D is equals to 180 degrees. Then I also have the F's, right? So X is equals to Y and A is equals to B. Okay, so let's look at the different types of examples. Okay, now we're looking at the examples here, right? So if we have AB is parallel to CD, right? Can you see the corresponding angles that they've marked there? Okay, if we're drawing the F, we're going to draw a line like that across the parallel line, down the transversal and across the parallel line. And the angles that are equal are on this side of that F and on this side of the F. So X4 is equals to Y5 because why? AB is parallel to CD and we're getting corresponding angles in the F shape. Okay, so if you look at another set of parallel lines, you've got AB is parallel to CD. Now they're showing us these two angles here, which is on the other side. Okay, so you draw the F like that. Okay, and then inside the first line of the F, this angle is equals to that angle. X2 is equals to Y7 because parallel lines AB are parallel to CD. Now they've just turned the parallel lines here to show you that you've got corresponding angles there. Okay, so what has happened is we draw our F like this. We draw our F from that parallel line down the transversal and this parallel line, and then our equal angles, corresponding angles are coming out there. Can you see there? So this angle is equals to that angle because AB is parallel to CD, right? So you get used to it. When you see parallel lines, you will end up finding the corresponding angles. Now today you need to concentrate on what is corresponding angles. What shape are we looking for? We're looking for an F shape, and we know we're looking for that angle is equals to that angle. That's another rule of geometry. It's like a theorem that you need to learn. When you see parallel lines with a transverse cutting in the F shape, this angle is equals to that angle. We can see a F shape on this side, so this angle is equals to that angle. We can draw F shape here, so that angle is equals to that angle. We can also draw F shape on the other side, so that angle will be equals to that angle. Okay, so you will get used to it as you see more problems. Let's look at this example here. Calculate the value of A. AB is parallel to CD, right? We've been given that by these two arrows. So I draw, can you see my F here? I draw a line down the transversal, across the parallel line, and across the parallel line. So this angle and this angle is called what? They call corresponding angles. So A is equals to 70 degrees. And why am I saying A is equals to 70 degrees? They are corresponding angles in the F shape, and AB is parallel to CD. Right, so here comes another one. Calculate the value of X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z, right? Now it's all different types of angles here. So you get all the theorems that you've learned, you have to apply it, right? Now when you see this here like this, what are these called? Can you remember? Opposite angles, vertically opposite angles. So what is Y going to be equals to? Y is going to be equals to 82 degrees. That's the easiest one to spot because it's vertically opposite angles. Remember we did vertically opposite angles. If you forgot, you can go back and revise. Vertically opposite angles. So when two lines are crossing like this angle will be equal to that opposite angle. That's a rule also. So Y will be equals to 82 degrees. Now X is going to be equals to what? Always on a geometry problem, you must remember, you're looking for what they've given you. Something is equals to that. There's some way of solving the problem. It's not guesswork, right? So can you see now? Here's my parallel lines. That's my one parallel line, right? So I'm going to draw my F. That's my transversal. There's my other parallel line. This angle by the F line, this angle by the F line. What are they? They are corresponding angles in the F shape. So X is equals to 82, and we've got corresponding angles. AB is parallel to DC. Now look at X and Z. Okay, how am I going to solve X and Z? Can you see there's a straight line there? You see we're applying three things that we've learned in one question. Can you see there's a straight line there? So what are angles on a straight line? Adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are equals to, and adjacent angles on a straight line are supplementary, which means that these two add up to 180 degrees. We solved for X. So we can say, we can work out Z by saying Z is 180 minus the 82, which is equals to the 98 degrees. So very, very, very important to look at your statement. You're going to get a mark to say why you're saying, you said X is 82, but why did you say X is 82? Because we said there are corresponding angles now, because we can see the parallel lines, right? Then we said Y is equals to 82 degrees. Why am I saying Y is equals to 82 degrees now? Because it's vertically opposite angles. Then I said Z is equals to 180 minus 82. Why? Because these two angles are adjacent and they add up to 180 degrees. Can you see how much of marks you're going to get? So please don't just write down the answers. You have to write down a statement and a reason. Okay.